And welcome back to Career Build Series, episode 13 of the 2023 Career Build Series. And so we're moving right along here. Last episode came out to repair this boat. Having a couple mechanical issues, engineering issues with my tugboat I'm going to have to fix at some point. But we're connected here, and I'm ready to start to tow. So let's start doing that. So we have an issue here where it's essentially I'm losing control of this port as a pod. It's something to do with the autopilot system, so I need to fix that. It works with the autopilot on, but it's giving me grief. So what's my current heading? I don't know. Let's say it looks like south. So let's put that in there. I'll run it off the autopilot for now, and hopefully it allows me to work here. So we're connected. Let's go ahead. I'm currently just working on this right azopod because that left one is stuck at 90 degrees for some reason. Start winching out. Winch not working? Oh, come on, man. Why is the winch not working? Alright, so my winch isn't working. We're going to still tow it, but add that to my to-do list. Yep, so something that's screwed up. I didn't hook up something, so. Alright, so we are currently towing. I want to get out in the open ocean as quick as possible. So let's go right here for the waypoint. Let's put that in. Might be able to get this to steer properly if I'm using... Okay, so it's steering when I have power. When I don't have power, it doesn't want to steer me. So that is strange and frustrating. Okay. So it only wants to steer with power. So this is some good testing just to see what it's doing. But as long as I'm using the autopilot, this should work. And then I'll figure out what I screwed up the microcontroller. Alright, so current heading's 150. Let's do it off the heading hold here, 150. Alright, and we'll steer with the heading hold for right now. It's not ideal, but it's going to allow us to go. We're doing a pretty reasonable speed. This is 11 knots. So a tugboat, you know, it's max speed. It's built for pulling. And so it's like, for example, the one that I was kind of using for reference, its max speed is 10.5 knots. Well, you know, probably certainly lose some speed when it's towing, but, you know, so we did 24 knots, and now we're doing 11 with towing. That's actually not bad. I do have I need to add in the towing setting, which it puts on a yellow light when we're towing, but I have yet to do that, so I have to do that as well. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get us through this bridge, and then I'll probably accelerate time there. So I do have an issue with my own controllability here. It's probably... I have the helm going through multiple panels to finally get to where I control it. I would say that's probably the issue, so I need to fix that. But we are moving here, so... You know, I'm going to want to get into a bunch of barge work. That's going to be one of my money makers. So, especially transporting fuel, transporting some of the mineral goods will be, I think, will be a nice way to do it. You know, the versatility of a tugboat is that I can do something like this. I can do a rescue. I can do a towing mission like this. I can also have a barge and easily... You know, this is essentially kind of like a tractor trailer. You know, the trailer, you can have a bunch of different types of trailers all set up, ready to do work, and then the power unit, which in this case is the tugboat, the power unit can come in and just connect to the barge or whatnot. And so I can have a barge for containers, I can have a barge for moving liquid, I can have a barge for moving bulk goods like coal, and I can keep the same power unit. I don't have to rebuild an entire ship and have a coal ship, a cargo ship, a tanker ship, which I do have some of them, but I like to build a lot more, you know, multi-use vehicles in this Save. All right, so we're coming up under the bridge. Once we get under the bridge, I'm gonna try to get out to probably about, oh, I don't know. So you have to stop for the bridge. So I'm gonna probably come out of here and I'll set a waypoint here, and then I'm gonna manually control through the bridge, and then I'm gonna head down directly to there. And then I will definitely not have enough money to buy this, but what I'm gonna do is probably come out of here. This is one of the reasons why I want to make sure that I had refueling capabilities. If I come in here, I can buy diesel for 35 cents. And so that's worth filling up my tanks, because I want to be able to fill my bench up. If you remember when they did Industrial Frontier, what is that? Okay, it's the stanchion. I thought there was something sitting there. Let's go 15 right, so 165. Also need to change the P value of the autopilot so it's not moving it as quickly. So with this autopilot came off of Refueling, which has rudders. And so with an Azipod, it will actually turn us more quickly than with rudders. So it needs to be less sensitive. But despite my winch not working, we're doing all right here. So. Alright, so I'm going to get out in the open ocean, then I'll put the auto AP back on. Yeah, it's probably thinking right about there. I want to miss all these islands. And so when they came out with Industrial Frontier, we have to manage our own fuel now. So I should be able to come up here, and I'll have 9,000. And what I'll do is I'll invest some of it in fuel. I should be able to, let's see what I have now. Let's say I have 6,000. Yeah, so that about 2,000 fuel will fill me. And so I'm just going to fill up my tanks. I'll probably only spend a few $100s, but that will give me a nice bit of fuel to have at the lowest possible cost. 35 cents is really inexpensive. And so then I can put that back in my bench at beginner. Seeing I'm having a control issue, I really want to probably recall. I'll let it go back on autopilot. Probably won't bore you guys with that, but I will maybe go up to fuel. Time lapsing it out, it'll be fast. But go up, get fuel, go back to beginner base, and then I have to do a bunch of engineering stuff just to get it to work properly. And so once I get it working properly, I think we'll be a lot better. All right. So again, nice thing with creative menus, I can turn on, I can visually see where we are. I know we have quite a ways to go here, so I'm going to set a waypoint there. I'm going to dial that in. I'm going to switch over, have this guide us out, because we're currently heading right at the shore. So that new stability system is what's causing this to rock and roll too much. You see how it's rocking and rolling? I went from having 2 fins per side to, what I have, like 6 fins per side, so it's too much. So what I'm going to do is essentially it's actually was it 4 fins per side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make those fins that I added, all they're going to do is for pitch control when I'm in reverse. So they're only going to operate when I'm in reverse, because the propellers try to pull me out of the water when I'm reversing, so it picks the stern up, which is unrealistic and weird. And so what I want to do is have those just counteract that. So they're just going to be counteracting that. That's all it's going to kind of slow me down in reverse. So I won't be able to go full speed in reverse. Again, you have a nice sculpted bow, and then you have a flatter stern, and so you wouldn't want to you wouldn't be able to go backwards as fast. You'd have too much drag. Getting into nighttime here. We do have our nav lights on. So we should be to this next waypoint in about 4 minutes. So I'll start the time lapse, and then, you guys won't be bored with it. All right, see you when we get there. Alright, so I decided to stop here at a fire. So we have a fire right here. And I'm trying to get a little bit closer. Let's go over here. Like I said, I'm having to use the set waypoint here just because I'm having that as a pod issue. So let's go forward. So this is worth 7,000 to put this fire out. So we're getting 6,000 for the tow. There's 7,000 in the way. That's definitely worth our time. I'll also see if there's any loot crates here. So a nice little pickup here on the way. Yeah, it's good weather there on the time lapse. Lots of waves. I had to move into the ocean, into the sea, but you notice we were doing a pretty good job of managing the heavy sea states. Daytime here, I'll go ahead and shut my lights off. I don't need my interior, my deck lights. So let's see, fire at the observatory. Again, seven grand we get for that, so that's definitely worth hitting. There we go. Two to the hospital is going to be interesting. Not a lot of hospitals around here for me to go to. I could go just up here, because I want to go back, get fuel, and then go up, so. Kind of nice to string these along. Alright, so I do have a fire extinguisher downstairs. Let me go ahead and grab that, and hopefully put it out with the fire extinguisher. It's been going for a little while, so. Let's grab that. I'll put that torch in there. A little bit easier to use the seat now. I don't have to use the, Now we'll put it on our anchor light. There we go. I'm going to close this just so that we can't flood. Yeah. So, got a rescue as well. So this could be, you know, it's showing 7 grand, I think, just for the fire. I'm not sure how that adds it up if it shows for the people too, but we'll check it out. So it's kind of nice to do a little bit of a side mission here. Get a little bit of that cheddar cheese money. You know, so this is actually starting to make it more worthwhile, you know, stringing these together. Hello there, sir. A little bit of a slowdown here, so something's slowing me down. Definitely getting some sort of, it's actually pretty minimal. So, see if the fire extinguisher is enough to put this out. There's a lot of fire there, but fire extinguisher usually lasts pretty long. Been going for quite a while. I saw it when going under the bridges, I think. So I'm trying to get right to the fire spawns there. Oh, getting hurt. There's one of the fire spawners there. Try to put this one all the way out. So about 20% of the fire extinguisher, maybe a little bit more, is used up. It's actually going up pretty quick here. Oh, come on, come on. Try not to waste it here. There we go. A little bit of lag is causing it to take extra to put out. This is that SAR gameplay, search and rescue gameplay that everybody says is gone from the game. Sorry, a little bit of shade. There we go. There's 3 grand. I don't think I've ever been in here. So you don't look like. Nope, you are following me. Okay, so that's up. Here we go. Look at that. Nope. Okay, I thought those were money loot crates. They are not, unfortunately. Let's look around here. I want to make sure that there is no other money loot crates. Hello, sir, or madame. Are you coming with me? Yep. I can get you to follow me. So I think if they can follow me, they can come. So it said rescue 2. I don't think this Johnny can come. Nope. Okay, so these are the 2 I need to rescue. So let's see if we can't get them into the tug. Tugboat is low enough I can jump in. And then I can grab them over the rail. But a little bit of extra cash, you know, at least we made the $3,000, so even if we can't rescue these people, we have a good bit of cash on us here. Oh my god, did they stop following me? Nope, they're there. Okay, I was gonna say, I hate it when they stop following me. Take this dude, put him on my back, and we put him in a seat. There we go. Let's grab the next person. I do not have any health kits, so they might die anyway, but didn't fully plan for this, so let's get moving here. Alright, so I need a new waypoint. Let's go down to here. Alright, let's get moving. So the big one is still... So with just the tow mission and that's $9,000. That's a good amount of money. Again, it's that new stability system that's causing this terrible rolling. I'll fix that eventually. Still has enough mass in the bottom that it will right itself. And if you build it properly with proper ballasting, it will right itself. Anyway. Alright, so we're max thrust. Let's see what we're looking at here for time. Alright, back to the old time lapse. So if you notice, I just threw our two scientists overboard. They died. I figured that. I didn't have any health packs. I didn't have any way to res them. So, just, they're fish food now. But, so we're coming up here on the, this is, which base is this? Coast Guard base. And so we're going to come up here and then we'll turn in and deliver. If I only had the money for this, I could repair my boat here, but I'm going to have to go back. What is this? Observatory fire. Okay, that's going to still be there because of the people. That's fine. TT on the way back is on fire, so if that's probably still going to be on fire, so we'll go up for fuel, and then we'll go ahead and we'll hit TT on the way home. We're looking at here $3,000 to put that fire out, so that's not a bad bit of cash. Might do that on the way back, and so probably head back up TT, and then maybe I'll go through the river to get up to beginner base. So nice to get a little missions done here. I would love to not go back to base, but I kind of need to just because I need to work on the vehicle. The other thing I could do is theoretically, actually I might do this too. One thing I could do is, I'm curious about the fuel though. I might lose the fuel if I recalled it to the bench. So, you know, one thought was to just make the fixes on the test world and then load it in. But, you know, it works fine on autopilot, so I can head back. Might just go around. It'll take me longer to go the long way, but it will be, you know, 1, 2, 3 waypoints instead of having to pay attention the whole time. That way I can go AFK, and, you know, if each leg takes 20 minutes or whatever, you know, it's not a big deal. You know, this type of slow gameplay I enjoy. You know, I certainly can understand some people not liking it, but this is my, it's very relaxing to me. Oh, I didn't turn on my nav lights. Bad me. But I like this kind of relaxing gameplay of just sitting back, and then I also like, you know, how I was talking before, is it kind of frees you to do some other stuff. Like I actually went and ran some errands while the autopilot was on. I did some chores around the house, and so if I was playing in a game that I'm constantly having to be engaged, like say Escape from Tarkov, I can't watch a YouTube video, I can't do the dishes, I can't go do errands, and so this frees me up to do all that stuff while still playing. So that's one of the reasons I like this kind of slowish gameplay. So we're almost there. Get a good bit of money off of this run. Might as well go down and check the fuel while I'm here. So I think I didn't check it before we left, but let's say, you know, we'll do worst case scenario. So let's say $6,000 for liters. So we're down to, what's that, 16.5, 16.13. So let's say, what do you say, $6,000, and we use about 3,000 liters. If we use the cheapest price, which is 35 cents per liter, you know, we're talking about a third of that. So we're talking about $1,000. Yep, of course they died. I threw them overboard. We're talking about $1,000 to do this, and we made $6,000. We're making $6,000 off the boat. We made another, what was it, $3,000, $3,000. I think it was $3,000. So we made $9,000 just by putting the fire out, and then $6,000 for this boat. You know, so we made $9,000. So we made $8,000 in profit, which is pretty good. You know, it's not super huge, but again, that's you know, I don't need to make super duper profit. As long as it's profitable, as long as I'm enjoying myself, I'm happy, and I am. So I am happy. Let's see, getting close to this waypoint. I'm gonna turn us here. And then be nice to get that azopod fixed and tune it up so it's not doing this flip over nonsense, which, you know, is because of those stability fins I added. Also slowing down the rate at which it turns the azopod. You know, like I said before, this was set up for Vijot with rudders, and now we have azopods, and so it's more sensitive with azopods. Check out our spotlights. So here are our front spots. They're very dim. I need to do additive. So this is actually isn't bad in the back. That's about as bright as I want them. I have that light on too. So this stern light needs to be dim. The spots should be very bright. But you see the spots are lighting up the ship fine. They're just not casting big auras. And it's lighting up the front fine, but it just has nothing to actually reflect off of. Alright, so this is shutting me off here. So I'm going to start pushing up. Alright, do you see how that port azopod goes funky? Yeah, so see that goes crazy when I do that, so I screwed something up with that, so I have to fix it. So I have to use the waypoints now until I get that fixed. Not a big deal because this is long journeys. I'm not doing maneuvering. I'm not pushing barges around. Mission complete. Okay. So because both casualties died, the mission has ended. So I just got money for the fire. This tugboat still needs bilge pumps so that in case we flooded any of the areas that we can pump out. Especially important if we were to hit the hull on something and damage it. We want to make sure that, you know, each section is pretty much segmented off. We have the cabin segmented off from the bridge, is segmented off from the engine room. And so, you know, I could jump down with a repair torch and repair any of those, tow it back, and then fix the area. So I'm just going to come up on the right side here. There we go. Okay, so we just got that done. Good. Alright, so nice. So, little tow mission here. Made $9,000. I have something on me that I can't use at the same time. Fire extinguisher. Alright. So that is delivered. So I'm going to get going on moving over to the fuel. Let's see. Let's go out there. Uh-oh, I'm gonna bump into it. I was hoping it would make a right turn. It's making a left, so. See how it's also dipping the bow in, which is silliness. We're also going to be able to go much faster now. We're not towing the boat. So, you know, we're going greater than double the speed now. Alright, so once we get around the horn here, I'm going to go up. See, this is actually cool. This is the sell point for diesel. And so we can actually do money-making runs in here at some point. So it would be nice to buy some place down here. I hate this base. I'm not a fan of this one. That one doesn't have... See, I do like FJ Warner. So that's convenient for FJ Warner. But what's FJ Warner cost? It has to be a bunch. Right. That's only 80,000 for FJ Warner. That has an airport and a dock, and it's only 80,000. That's super cheap. I'd like to build a house, though. That would be nice. So, like, we have a property over here we can buy. And one down here isn't bad. Oh, that's the big base. What's this one here? We have a property here we could buy. So we have a couple islands we could buy to actually make bases. This one's kind of neat, having a little... Oh, I know this one. So, this one we can't build something on, but I do know that one, so... But interesting. So, let's see. We should be around the horn now. Yep, we are. Trying to get it before it shuts the engines off. There we go. Alright, good. We're turning now. And so going much faster. You know, we're just between 24 and 25 knots. So, nice speed. Definitely a good speed for a tugboat, you know. Alright, so we're on course. Let's see. Time to waypoint. So 13 minutes. So, again, do fast, speed that up, and then we'll fill it up. Alright, so we are here. This is going to be hairy because I can steer with my starboard azipod. So I'm going to steer with my starboard azipod here. Again, I have that issue with the port one. I have to figure out what's up with that. Something's up with that. The port one goes through multiple panels, so I have to figure that out. Okay, I have to put in, let's put in 0. That's zeroed. That's off. Trying to bring up the starboard azipod and it's not going up. Oh, what the heck's going on now? So we're not charging electricity enough. We have plenty of electricity, but that's something to keep in mind. The kill switch is still going off. So I have a lot of fixing to do. Let's put it that way. This is going to be interesting to see if I can get in there. I'm going to go really nice and slow, see if I can get in there. Backing out, it's going to be hairy. We'll see. See what this looks like. Definitely in that azipod is causing me issues, so. Come on, steer, steer, steer. I'm manually controlling myself, my starboard azipod. That's why I'm hitting stuff. Alright, so let's get refueled. Really love to get this back to base. Problem is I can't cheat in fuel, so if something happens I have to manually get fuel, and this fire extinguisher's going. Adieu. Adieu, adieu. Pump is on. Yeah. All right, so we're going to fill up our tanks here. And that should be filling here. Let's go downstairs and check. Definitely having issues with that. All right, good. We're filling up. Let's look at our money. Should only burn off a couple thousand in money here for at most. Because we're going to be taking on 2,000 liters, about a third of that. You know, so that's not a ton of money. That's just some hundreds of dollars. So really pretty economical for me to be able to run this with diesel. So we did a lot for this small amount of fuel. So let's say worst case scenario, $1,000. We went from, where the hell is it? Right there. Is this it? No. Where are we at? We went from here, down here, all the way down into here, grabbed the boat, came down through, all the way down to here, turned around, came all the way up here, and that cost us a grand total of, at most, $1,000, probably in the hundreds of dollars to be able to do that. So that's really economical. So I'm not going to screw around too much. I'm going to come out and go, you know what, I'm not going to bother with this. That's only it's only $3,000. I would rather get this back and fix it than to get $3,000. If I really need it, I can give myself the money. But we have $11,000. So we made some good money on that. So once I'm filled up, I'm going to head out. We'll head over here, head north, and then head over there. That gives us only 3 waypoints, so I can leave it on autopilot and not have to worry about it as much. So that's kind of that's an important thing for me. Yeah, because I don't want to have to, you know, it makes it I don't have to babysit it as much. Yeah, that's one of the great things about autopilot. You know, like I've said before, autopilot, the whole point of it is workload reduction. And so workload reduction is incredibly important to me, to be able to reduce the amount of work I have to do. It allows me to do other things. Okay, so that's 3062 is max capacity on that one. What's this one reading? 2718. So we need to start sticking some more micros into that port side. I'm just going to no clip, just saving time, just saving aggravation. Again, this is why I turn on creative. This type of thing, you know, is it increasing my enjoyment in the gameplay by walking up there and swimming over there? You know, IRL, there'd be a ladder I could jump on. I would do it if there was a ladder there. But because there isn't, I'm just going to, you know, no clip, and this makes life a little bit easier here. I like this refueling panel. This is working well. All right. So let's try to get out of here. This is going to be hairy trying to get out of here. So I should be able to shut these systems off, and if I put a 0 in there, see, I set this up that a 0 signal in there will actually, oh, I just screwed myself up. A 0 signal in there will help shut it off. I have to fix that. That's just, that was a mistake, an error to do it that way. Yeah, that's why I couldn't control that starboard azipod earlier. So I'm just steering out with just my starboard azipod right now. So I know the logic I have to fix, so it's not a big deal. I just have to fix it. But just backing it out. You know, as somebody who's been an equipment operator my whole life, you know, you start to get intuition, I don't know if it's the right word, but you know, you get comfortable with how a vehicle is going to move and when you can hit something. That's why I could do a blind back out like that. No, I wasn't going to hit anything, right? These are straight walls. As long as I head straight and keep the wall in reference to me straight, I'm not going to hit anything. Alright, so we're on the move again. I'm going to quickly set a waypoint here, so probably there. And we're on the road again. And so this is going to take us, wow, this is going to take us on our journey. So we now have full fuel. This is going to also help it so that when I put this away, I'll probably pump out just to be certain that I'm keeping all my fuel. So I'll pump everything out. And that will also hopefully get rid of what's in the lines and put it in the workbench. But yeah, so I will see you guys when we get there. Alright, so we are back here. We finally made our way all the way back. Let's go ahead and I'm going to try to limp us in. I need to put a 0 in here. And I've made a bunch of notes about what I need to fix, and I will fix those. But yeah, so definitely have a couple things to do on this, but those are some good missions. We made some good cash, which should help us with the, with doing all the missions we need to do and moving forward, improving this. Working well, it just has some issues here and there. A couple of microcontroller errors I made, but, as I've said before, and especially a lot in the last series, is that, you really learn what your build needs when you put it into a career game. Just going out and doing even if you're doing like an hour test, that was, 3-something hours round trip for me, and I figure out a bunch of different things, and so it really helps to improve the build. So definitely some things to work on this, but it is fundamentally strong. Things are working well. Like you can see, I have a little issues with these fins. Like you can see, the fins there are causing that lean. So those are going to be changed to just, most likely those are just going to be doing reverse. Reverse is the only issue that I really had, so I'll make those all reverse pitch fins. But I can still limp this around on that one Azipod. I can actually control the other one as long as zeroed, but that was a fun mission. Let's go ahead and pump out, and I think we'll be good. So pumping out is just going to guarantee that we get as much fuel in there as possible. And so I'm just going to no-clip to save a little bit of time. All right. And so we only have 188 liters of diesel in here. Throw this fire extinguisher on the ground. What are we talking? We want to, let's go ahead and pump in. Make sure we have diesel. We do. All right, we'll plug in and hopefully pump all this fuel back into the base. Sometimes it works when we can just, recall it, but I'm going to pump out just for sake of making sure that it works. And I want to see exactly how much fuel we would have, so. I also want to see what this looks like with no fuel in it as far as the buoyancy. All right, so we have at least a couple, looking like 5,000 something, about around 5,000 liters of fuel. That's going to get converted to gallons, or I don't know. I might leave it as liters. Don't know. But good mission. I enjoyed those missions. It was nice to get back in there. And so I think we'll end it there, and I will see you guys next time, and we'll do some repairs and some improvements. See you then.